The Nissan 350Z is better than a supercar. Yeah, I said it. So, what if I told you that for the price of a used Audi R8 from, let's say, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there, you can find yourself a 350Z that'll not only beat it in a drag race and beat it around the track, and the cost of maintenance will be significantly lower. So, do you want to pull your own Brian O'Connor? Well, grab yourself a 350Z and I'm about to tell you how. The 350Z was first introduced in 2003. Yes, the DE. That's the one I've got. But as it's gotten older, it's become an icon for its, well, easy balance, its performance, its relative reliability and affordability. But let's be honest, if you don't do your oil changes, you shouldn't even be owning a car. Like, come on, let's be real. If you can't do an oil change or regularly schedule an oil change at the very least, should you even be owning a car? Like, come on. But that's beside the point. But this humble sports car can not only go toe-to-toe with Ferraris and Lamborghinis of old for half the price, but at the same time, you can still get it repaired for even less. So, let's see. We're talking speed, style, and performance, but what does that even mean? Well, exotic machines are designed specifically for that, right? They're designed to be, show-stopping vehicles. But it's not like a 350Z is ugly by any means. If you think so, you're weird. So with the millions and billions of dollars of investment that goes into these supercars, the same amount of investment goes into the reliability of the cars that come from Japan, America. Well, maybe America sometimes. Depends on what you get. Besides that, you get cutting edge technology, you get jaw-dropping aesthetics, and you get something what I like to call a timeless beauty. The 350Z is all that. With its 287 horsepower in the first gen. Step that up a couple of years later, you'll get over 300 horsepower. But that's beside the point. We're not even getting there yet. And the challenge is clear. For under $8,000, you can buy a new 350Z. It's 150,000 miles at the most, maybe. Or you can already spend $80,000 on your Audi R8. So far, we're at a 10x difference. What more do you want? To beat a supercar, not only do you have to have power and performance, you got to be able to turn a corner and look the part. So, open your wallets, open your minds. Let's figure out where we should start. And I'm an engine guy, so we'll start there. Like I stated earlier, the VQ35DE is the first generation of the Nissan 350Z engine. Yeah, you can talk about all the other Z engines, but we're talking about the 350Z today. And, 287 horsepower in 2003 is not bad. It's mostly all down low, but we're going to address that with a little bit of upgrades right now. So, first, we're going to have to get a turbo kit. With a turbo kit, you can easily put 500 horsepower down to the wheels. However, you might want to upgrade the internals for that. This is an all aluminum engine. It's already high compression, so you're going to have to be careful. With a new engine, with a built bottom end and some pistons, you're looking at probably about $2,800 total. And that gets you the Brian Cower. They're really good. The reviews are 4 stars and up. And guess what? You get a lot more power. So let's put a turbo on that thing, some 1,000cc injectors, and call it a day. Upgrade the exhaust because, let that turbo breathe and let the turbo whistle sing, bro. Come on. What more do you want? It's a 350Z with 500 horsepower and 3,300 pounds. Come on. That's already Audi R8 territory. We haven't even tackled all the supporting suspension and other things like that. With your turbo kit costing about $10K, you're going to want to go ahead and get the suspension overhauled. That 03 suspension and brakes and steering is not going to be all that great to handle especially if you get one used. Depending on your budget, you could have started out with maybe $1,000 for a shell, $500 for a shell, somewhere in there. But if you bought a running driving vehicle with all this maintenance checking out, you're looking probably between $8,000. So we're already at $18,000, but we just got a turbo kit and everything else is significantly cheaper than a turbo kit. However, if you want to go carbon fiber and go weightless or a little bit lighter, you can do that, but it's going to be about $800 to $1,200 per panel, including the hood. So do that with what you will. But even then, that's about, 7, 8 to 10 panels? Dude, that's another 10K. You're at 28,000. But a new Audi R8, new to you Audi R8, I should say, is still another $30,000. But let's go ahead and tackle that suspension. The suspension, you're going to want to get decent BC Racing coilovers at the very least. Those are going to cost you upwards of a G. But with that said, you're getting a lot of quality, a lot of performance, and you're going to want to upgrade those brakes because 500 horsepower is not what those stock ones are designed for. I don't care which kit you got. You can go ahead and upgrade to the G37s. You're going to need a couple of things here and there to make it fit, but you're going to want to upgrade those. The Akebono kits, I usually see those and they require a little bit of adjustment here and there, but you get one of those and you're looking about $1,000 for a good new set. But with that, you're going to need something to help you turn left and right, and that's going to be your wheels and tires. You're going to want some 9.5s in the rear, 8.5s in the front at the very least. That should get you to and from the store and around the track pretty good. If you wrap them in some Michelin all seasons PS4Ss, hey man, you're going to be fine. You'll be able to do burnouts without worrying about your diff. Speaking of which, you're not going to have to change that. Unless you got an automatic, you're going to want to upgrade. Get a manual if you can. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but get the manual if you can. You can do a manual swap, all that kind of good stuff. I highly recommend getting a manual. I have an automatic. It's fun. It's great, but it's a little bit more boring. It's a little bit more boring than the manual. Let's just be honest. It's less engaging. It doesn't feel quite as the sports car as it should. And the stock manual is a little bit lazy. Cell 3, what do you expect? It's ancient technology at this point. We're going into 2025. It's probably older than anybody watching this video. So for the interior, you can transform the Z quite easily. Take out 2 seats. That's it. The G35, there's a little more to it, but you have a little bit more already put in premium features. However, I've got the touring model that has the subwoofer in it, so I've already got a panel for that. That's kind of cool. I like that. You can upgrade that. You're going to need a few things, but depending on how much you want to spend, seats can be between $3,000 and $1,000, but it's going to come with maybe a set of 2, depending on if you get them from Amazon or not. But listen, here's the thing. Get what's comfortable, because I do not recommend, if you're going to daily this car, taking out any of the interior. It's going to be a nightmare. You're going to have drone. You're going to have too much noise. It's going to be uncomfortable to drive more than 10 minutes. Trust me. When your ears are bleeding, you'll thank me. Anyways, you can put a Starry headliner in there. You can have somebody do it. I've seen quotes for about $1,000 to do it, but you can probably do it yourself for easily half the price. It's just some fiber cables, a headliner, and you poke some holes in it, put it in through, and then you have a connector, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the point is, with everything that you can do to a car on the interior, there's so much. Look, you can make it look as premium as you want and get it all off of eBay. It's just not going to last as long, let's be honest. But you're still looking at about $3,700 or $37,000 for a supercar beating Slayer, really. It's going to spin the tires, it's going to drift, it's going to go left, it's going to go right, it's going to stop, it's going to do everything you want, and safely. That's a key to this everything. You're going to sit there and be glad that you got your wheels and tires with your turbo kit, because let's be honest, you going from 280 horsepower to 500 horsepower, it's going to change some things. But who am I to say? I just like the Z. With a combination of power, timeless style, and a good set of wheels, tires, and suspension, man, look, go ahead and beat you a supercar. But don't take my word for it. Go and find out yourself. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Nissan 350Z with a turbo kit and all the supporting mods versus an Audi R8. I'd be willing to see that video. Hey, but listen, there's all the potential in the world with any car. You just have to be willing to build it. It cured my depression. It could cure yours. But let's be honest. We all just want to go fast. I'm Afro Smurf. Peace.